Hello everyone, this is Harsh and you are watching WPF World. In last video we learned layout panel with example. In today video we are going to learn some of the most commonly used control that you will use in almost every WPF application. Here I will try to explain 10 controls. So without wasting time, let's get started. First we will see what is text block control. Text block is used to display simple text, or if we want to show the paragraph heading, or if we want to show text in some format like bold, italic, then we can use the text block controls. So now let's remove this, and here I will use the grid. As we are going to learn 10 controls, so I will create 10 rows and 2 columns. So let's create it. In last video I have explained how to use grid and how to create row and column in grid. Here we will use row definitions, grid dot row definitions, and then I will add 10 rows, row definition, and here I will set height to star. Let's copy it. I have created 10 rows here. Now I will add 2 column. So here I will use grid dot column definitions and then add 2 columns. Here I will set width to star. Now let's use the text block control. So I will use text block. It is used to show the text. So we'll set the text and I will hello world. Okay, and we have to close this with this slash and closing angular bracket. So let's run and see. We can see hello world in our application. And as we learned in last video, if you don't specify any row and column, then it will take first row and first column. So here you can see hello world, first row and first column. And this you can see in designer also. I will click here in design tab and you can see these are the row and this is the column, right? 1 and 2 column. This is the row. And this also you can see side by side. So you can click here vertical split. So you can see here, okay? You can see hello world here, right? In the first row, first column. Now we will use label control. Label control is also a control which is used to show the text. It is mainly used when text is related to an input control. Like if we want to ask a user to input some value, then we can use label control. So now I will use the label control here, and here we have to set the content, not the text. So I will say enter name. So here I want to ask user to give the input, so I will use the label control. Here text block and label both are non-editable. Okay, if you want to know what is the difference between two, you can watch this video. I already have one video, so you can watch this video and you will get the difference between these two controls. So this label I want to set to second row, so I will set grid dot row equal to 1. It is just like an array where index will start from 0, 1, 2 like that. In the same way here, if you want to add some control in row 2, then we have to use 1, right? So you can see here in the UI enter name. Now we will see text box. Text box control is used to accept the input. Like we can input some value there. So let's use that text box control, and here we can set text anything. I will say WPF, and this I want to keep in row 2 and column also 2. You can see here, right? Now let's run and see. You can see this is the text box. So here you can enter anything, right? But here you cannot change anything, right? We don't have option to change here, right? Now we will see the button control. What is button control? Button control is used to perform some action when user click on it. Like in the web form or web page or website, whenever we are going to log in, then we are clicking to log in, right? That is button. So here also we have the button, so we can create the button control here, and here we have to set content, and then I will tell login. Okay, login. This I want to keep in row 3 and column also 3. So we have to set value 2, right? So if you see in the UI, you can see the login and it take full space. So if you want to set the width, you can set it to 100. So this will take this much space. This is the button. So if you run it, you can see this is the button. Here you can click. I have not added any event here, like when we click what to. So if you want to show something, then we can use the click event. We have the click event, so that when we click, then this method will execute. Okay, so if you click here and press F12, and here I will say message box dot show welcome to controls tutorial. Okay, now let's run and see. Now I will click on login. So you can see one pop-up came and you can see the text welcome to control tutorial. Okay, one thing I forgot to do, as I am using Visual Studio 2026, so I will use latest .NET version, which is .NET 10. This application I had created in Visual Studio 2022. So the .NET version was .NET 9. So let's see the property. Here you see target framework version is .NET 9.0. So I will change it to 10. Let's try to build. Now you can see build is succeeded. Let's run it. It is working fine, right? Why it is working fine? Because I have not added any new dependency here. That's why it is working fine. Otherwise, we have to use update assistant tool. If you want to use that tool, then you can watch this video. Okay. Now next control is radio button. When we want to select only one option from group, then we can use radio button. Like for the gender, we have option male, female or other. So we can only select either male or female or other, right? So for that we will use radio button. How to use it? Let's see. Here I will use radio button, and here we have to set content. Here I will say male, and let's close this, and I will create 3 radio button, like one for female, one for other. Okay, now let's run and see. Okay, here I will change the location. This I want in grid row 4. So I will set here 3. Okay, let's see in the UI. So if you see, it's overlapped, right? So I will use one more panel here, which is stack panel, and I will set the orientation vertical. Okay, so you can see here we can use panel inside the panel. Okay, so like this we can say, if you see. Okay, first I will set this position here. Okay, you can see, right? Now we no need to set the position here. It's arranged in vertical manner, right? Like top to bottom. Now let's run and see if we are able to select only one option or multiple. Let's see. We are able to select only one, right? But sometime we may face the issue. For that, here we have to always use the group name. Here I will say gender. And this you can do for all the radio button, which is used only for this purpose, like for selecting the gender. Okay, this is how we can use radio button. But if we want to select multiple options, then what we will use? For that we have one control which is called checkbox. So what I will do, I will copy it and I will just change this row to 4. And here I will change the control name. I will say checkbox. From here we have to remove because we don't have option to set the group name here. We can select multiple choice here. I will add one text block here. I will cut from here and I will set here, and here I will say application setting, where I can say auto save or dark mode, enable notification. Like multiple option we can check, right? So let's run and see. You can see. Okay, let me make this row height to auto so that it will take required space. Okay, now let's run and see. You know what is use of auto and what is use of star, right? If you don't know, you can go and watch my previous video. See, this is our checkbox. We can select multiple, but here radio button, we cannot select multiple. We can select only one, right? So now we will learn combo box. What is combo box? It is kind of drop down list. When you want to save the screen space and we have multiple choice, so we can use the combo box so that when we click, then only it will show all the option. So let me add one combo box here. So how to add it? So you have to use combo box and then I will set the grid row and 5, and here you have to set combo box item, like what are the item you want to show in the combo box. Okay, here if we have multiple country, we can select it from here. Okay, like that we can have multiple option here, but we can select when we click on it. Like here we can say label, we will use label and grid row 5. Okay, I will say select country, and here I will set the column, grid column and 1. Okay, now let's run and see. See, we have 3 options, but if you see, very less space it has taken, right? So let me add some more. Once you will save, you can see. You no need to restart it, right? You can see here. This is hot reload facility. Now you can select anything. This is how you can use combo box. Now you know when to use the combo box. Now we will use image control to show the image. If we want to show the image, we will use the image control. Now let's see how to use it. We have the image control and here we have to set the source. I have added one image. So here you got this suggestion. You can select it by pressing the tab and you can set the width and height. I will set 200, height 200. And I will close it. You can see here, this I want to have in grid row 6. Okay, you can see here also. If you run, then also you can see. Why it is not working? So here we have to set some property for the file. Here we will change this to resource and then rebuild our application and then try to run it. You can see the image here, right? This is how we can use the image control. Now we will see the progress bar control, which is used to show the progress. Like whenever we are downloading, we are seeing download progress, right? 10%, 20% like that. So now we will use this control. How to use it? So we have one control named progress bar. Here I will set minimum to 10% and maximum to 80%. Okay, and here I will set grid row 7 and I will close this and let's run and see. You can see this. I have not set the height, so let's set the height so it will be visible. Let's save it. Now you can see here the progress bar, right? So here we are not seeing any value. So to set the value, we have the option to set it. We have value, I will say 30. Now let's see. 30% progress is completed. That is what it is showing. So this is how we can use. We have to keep always to 0, this minimum to 0 and this maximum to 100. Means the minimum percentage always 0 and maximum is 100%. And whenever it is increasing the value, it will change 0 to, like here I have set to 30. So progress is completed 30%. Now the next control is calendar control. If we want to show the month view, then we can use the calendar control. So now let's use it, calendar, and here I will set grid dot row to 8. I will set width 200 and height 200 and close this. Let's run it. You can see here, right? This is our calendar. You can select any date. So now you have learned 10 most commonly used control in most of our WPF application. That's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, let's share with your friends.